Senator Gonzalez.
Gracias, Presidente. I request a moment of personal privilege.
Granted.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, we know that crisis exacerbates inequality. We know that Black and brown communities have been hardest hit by the multiple crises that have impacted our community over the past year. And quite frankly, things weren't great for Black and brown communities prior to the pandemic either. And that's why in these times, it is so important to build opportunities for solidarity between communities of color and between all communities as well. Colleagues, last year, I had a conversation with Brother Jeff Fard, and we were talking about the importance of Black and brown unity. We were talking about the ways in which we often are pit against one another, or sometimes neither of our communities are taken into consideration or account. When policies are being discussed that will impact directly our lives, it is incumbent and critical for us to have a seat at the table and for our consideration to be taken into account. And I just appreciate so deeply the ways in which Brother Jeff has created space for Black excellence, has created space for conversation and dialogue and debate within the Black community, as well as creating space for discussion and debate between communities of color and also between with white communities as well. And so it's interesting how things work, because a year ago we had a conversation about wanting to uplift and celebrate his work. And then the pandemic hit. And we had to put that celebration on hold. And now here we are, a year later, and Brother Jeff and the entire team who makes the work of the Brother Jeff Cultural Center happen have been putting in even more work in order to uplift and support communities in these multiple crises that we're all navigating. And so I want to take this opportunity to say thank you, to say we see you, to say that we appreciate you, Brother Jeff, for the work that you do in our community. And so, with that, colleagues, the Colorado Senate convened in the first regular session of the 73rd General Assembly hereby extends heartiest congratulations and commendation to Brother Jeff. The members of the Colorado Senate proudly extend our deepest appreciation to Brother Jeff Fard for his dedication to fostering growth, strength, and power in the Black community across our state. In the midst of multiple crises, including the COVID-19 pandemic, deep economic inequalities, civil unrest caused by police brutality, and the pain of institutional and systemic racism, Brother Jeff has utilized the tools of multimedia journalism, grassroots organizing, and the creation of free think zones. Y'all been warned. To encourage transformational dialogue and liberatory space for BIPOC communities to convene, reflect, debate, and heal. And so as members of the Colorado State Senate, we commend Brother Jeff for his exemplary leadership, passion, and community involvement. On the request of Senator Julie Gonzalez, given this 26th day of April 2021, State Capitol, Denver, Colorado, signed Leroy M. Garcia, Presidente of the Senate. Colleagues, please join me in offering appreciation to Brother Jeff and to the entire team of community leaders who is doing incredible work through multimedia journalism and also through vaccine equity clinics to help us heal in these difficult times. Gracias.
Senator Gonzalez. Senator Coleman.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, Senator from Denver. Oh, moment of personal privilege.
Granted.
Thank you, Mr. President. The senator from Denver almost got fined. I want to say thank you so much for recognizing Brother Jeff, because I think it elicits a fine if you recognize your cousin. And so because you have this, I don't have to get fined, so I appreciate that. I want to say thank you so much for all that you do. Every word that was said this morning is true, and it's important. You know, I grew up learning that it is important to be slow to anger, slow to speak, and quick to listen. I appreciate the platform you provide people. We have an opportunity to be educated. We have an opportunity to be informed. We have an opportunity to find out about resources that are powerful for our communities across our state. And it's not just a place for people to come to the Brother Jeff Network and get information, but it is also for us to be challenged. We know what we know, but it's important for us to find out what others think. And although we may not always agree collectively, it's important that we understand one another. And you can't understand unless you listen. So thank you for creating those platforms for us to hear from all people in the state of Colorado about all issues. Because without information, we don't know what we need to do in order to move forward and take action to make Colorado a better place. So thank you, cousin. Appreciate you.
Senator Fields.
Thank you, Mr. President. The beloved Brother Jeff, I can't tell you how important you are to the community. If you do not know Brother Jeff, you should know him, because he is the voice of the community as it relates to challenges. And it doesn't have to be just about Black people. It's about any struggle or challenges that we face in the state of Colorado. What I endure and appreciate about Brother Jeff is that he keeps us informed. And if you don't have good communication as it relates to journalism, we're left in the dark. And so what he does is he provides an important exposure to relevant information. You cannot run for office and not have a conversation with Brother Jeff and his podcast that he does weekly. I don't know who has not been on the show, from Hickenlooper to Bennett to whoever, Diana DeGette. You can't run for office if you have not had the chance to go on a show to share your opinion, your views, and your values. But when you do, expect to be challenged. Expect to be challenged. He provides information on the most relevant and current issues that are facing our state and also the world. I remember losing my son, and he was right there to support me, like he supports other mothers and other crime victims. He is a champion for behavioral health and mental health and HIV. So it's not just about political issues, it's about social issues that he's been a champion for. He also stands for gun violence reduction and health intervention. Recently, I was on his show, and I was really pleased to see that he has a food bank going on over there. And if you look at the food bank, it's not just food, he has diapers, milk. It's free. And then also you can get a meal. And if you've ever seen the meal, I've seen the meals. I've been wanting to come by. But the meals might have some fried chicken, some collard greens, some mashed potatoes, rice, whatever. He is a one-stop center. So if you go into his cultural center, there's no wrong door. There's no wrong door because he's going to connect you to a resource that you need because he knows people. He knows people from the highest level of the government down to the homeless. He does not judge because of your economic status or because of your political status. This man is the real deal. And the work he does is based on nonprofit, which means we can contribute to his efforts. And I would urge you to do so. So, Brother Jeff, I believe that this acknowledgement and recognition is long overdue. You do so much for our community. And I don't know how many people tell you thank you. But I want you to know on the behalf of the Colorado State Senate that we appreciate your work and we value what you do. Thank you so much.
Senator Buckner.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I would like a moment of personal privilege.
Granted.
I am absolutely delighted that Brother Jeff is here today with us in the Senate. In the Black community, and not just the Black community, in all of the communities in Colorado, he's an icon. He tells it like it is. And we like to say he tells it like it T.I. is. He is inclusive, and he's our go-to for opinions, and he makes sure that both sides of the opinion are presented. He's fair. And sometimes we don't like to hear what we don't want to hear, but we have to listen to him because he gives us both sides of issues. His cultural center is a place for community celebrations, and it's a safe place and a safe gathering place for everyone. I want to tell you how much I appreciated him when my husband suddenly passed away 6 years ago. You know, I was in a daze at the funeral, but I looked over and saw Brother Jeff, and it put a smile on my face because my husband respected him as well. And when you're going through a death, you don't remember everything, but he did this amazing spread of photos in the Urban Spectrum that highlighted every part of my husband's homegoing, and I will never forget that because that day I was present, but I just couldn't remember. I was so overwhelmed. So I still have those articles, and it means so much to me. Thank you, Brother Jeff. And now I want to brag about somebody on his team, and her name is Shay, the beautiful Shay. She was one of my husband's students. My husband loved her. And when during graduation, you know, you usually have the valedictorian speak, etc. My husband made a decision that everyone should have an opportunity to speak at graduation. And he chose this beautiful, articulate, smart lady to speak at graduation. So Shay, I just want you to know how much my husband loves you and how much I love you. And you're in the right place with Brother Jeff. So thank you for being here today with our friend, Brother Jeff. And Brother Jeff, once again, thanks just doesn't seem enough for everything you've done for our community, but you are appreciated.
The Senate will stand in a brief recess so that we can welcome our guests.